Discuss time. Yes, I will. Would you like to affirm or take the oath?
Take the oath.
Great hand.
I continue.
Yes, continue.
Okay. I, Kawira Mwangaza, do solemnly swear that the evidence that I shall give before this committee in respect of the matters before this committee shall be the truth and the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Thank you. Counsel for the witness, how much time do you want to introduce your witness?
Yeah, Chair, like I said, I had a side chat with my learned friend, Dr. Mutembei, and we feel it is important for me to do a bit of some examination in chief, and to that extent, and considering my client's pace in answering questions, I would be begging for 45 minutes.
Dr. Mutembei?
Chair, I had earlier on indicated we would need at least 90 minutes, and you had promised me you could give me some additional minutes once we get there.
Very well, we have heard you. We are trying to manage time in view of what is ahead of us. And bear with us. Counsel for the witness, we will give you 30 minutes. And counsel for the county assembly, we will give you 60 minutes. And please, your 60 and 30 minutes, share with your team accordingly, because senators really want to listen to the governor. Yeah, you have done your bit. Senators now want to really find out, is this the person that is being described by the MCS, by the priests, by everybody? So you'll bear more, the giant's share of the time will have to go to the senators, because ultimately they're the ones who are going to make a decision. I thank you very much, and time now.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable Governor, kindly for the record, state your full names.
Kawira Mwangaza.
Kawira Mwangaza, the current governor of Meru.
Yes.
You are familiar with the charges that have been brought against you by the County Assembly of Meru before this select committee?
Yes, I'm familiar.
And you have responded to each and every accusation against you in writing?
Yes, I have.
Would you like to stand by all the averments contained in your response?
Yes.
Thank you. You have been asked, and that question has been posed through several witnesses, why you did not want to participate in the impeachment process to defend yourself, or at least give your side of the story, at the Meru County Assembly. Did you deliberately refuse to participate in those proceedings?
No, I didn't.
You did not. What caused you not to participate in those proceedings?
There was a court order, and I sought legal advice from my lawyers, and they advised that if I go and attend the debate or the impeachment motion, I will be in contempt of court.
You. Thank you very much. So if there were no orders that were in place, and in the absence of advice from counsel, would you have participated in those proceedings?
Yes, I could have.
Thank you. I want us to play a small video on the day when the second motion for impeachment was before the County Assembly. Kindly, let's look at That is a video tagged as number 33. KMS 33. We have ABCD. If we can have any indication, Chair, if the Secretariat is having any challenges, so that we save on time. I see Honorable Senator for Nairobi is about to ask for a translation. That is a song. Again, we were unable to put it into any translation, but perhaps the committee can be guided by an expert. But I'll also ask the Governor to briefly comment on that video. Honorable Governor, in that video, do you recognize the day that was?
That is the very day before the impeachment debate.
So you're saying before the impeachment proceedings?
Yes.
What time of the morning did that video start circulating, to the best of your knowledge?
It was around 8 in the morning.
Around 8 in the morning. And the MCAs are chanting a particular song.
Chair, those are leading questions. The council can ask the witness what time did these events happen, but when he asks what time of the morning, he has already given the answer to the witness that it was in the morning. So council is testifying from the bar.
The reason why I said morning.
That objection is upheld.
Most obliged.
You are a lawyer trained to ask questions, isn't it?
Thank you, Chair. Only that the event of the impeachment was set to take place at 10 a.m. and she said before the impeachment proceedings. That means before 10. But nevertheless, Honorable Mwangaza, what time of the day were those MCAs singing that song?
It was very early in the morning, around 8 a.m.
Around 8 a.m.
Yes.
Before the impeachment proceedings?
Yes.
And are you able to understand the words in your local dialect, what they are saying?
I'm able to understand.
What are they saying?
That is the Kimeru traditional or songs that were meant to bury or to curse someone. And that's why they were dressed in white and black, led to bury the same day.
So they are saying they are going to bury you?
Yes.
They have also made certain references to other people. Are you able to tell which other person is being made reference to?
Yes, my husband.
What are they saying about your husband?
They have never seen a woman that is meant to cry by the husband.
Thank you. Can we now play the next video, that is B? Can we lastly play D? Can we lastly play video D? What is that song speaking to?
Speaking about kaende kaende, meaning that they will have to move forward and not backward.
Thank you. C finally. Can we have C? One would be forgiven that the MCAs are in a church. Can you confirm where the MCAs are when they are singing?
In the County Assembly of Meru.
They are inside the County Assembly of Meru?
Yes.
And that was the same day when they were set to impeach you?
It is the same day.
What song is being played inside the County Assembly?
That's a Kikuyu song, praising God, and then saying that after victory, the name of the Lord shall be praised. So they are anticipating for a victory.
You have been a member of parliament for 5 years. Is that behavior parliamentary in nature?
No.
It is not. And did you expect to have a fair hearing before such a tribunal or a committee or a house?
No, no, no.
No. Why do you feel that you do not have had fair hearing before the MCAs in Meru?
Because they had already made a choice.
Thank you. So they had already made a determination on
Yes.
your impeachment motion. Thank you very much. Very briefly, I want to take you through the 6 charges and in a very summary form, give your response to each of them. 1, you have been accused of nepotism and illegal appointments. And to this extent, I want to ask you specifically, are you guilty of nepotism and illegally appointing your husband or spouse to a county office?
Not guilty.
Did you appoint your husband to a county office?
No.
What did you, or rather, in what position did you appoint your husband to?
I only appointed him as the ambassador of Hustlers of Meru and then the patron of MYS.
Is that appointment in a county office?
No, it isn't.
What were you intending the first gentleman to do in the appointment that you gave him?
The patron, as we know, or as I believe, is a person who assists, gives aid, supports financially, socially, and expected the first gentleman to assist our youth in Meru County.
Specifically on the issue of the Meru Youth Service, was it your intention for the first gentleman to overshadow or take over the mandate of the board?
No.
What would have been the role of the first gentleman in the discharge of his duties towards the Meru Youth Service?
It is to help the young men and women financially and also give them moral support.
So it was for moral support and, where possible, assist them financially.
Yes.
Are you aware of other initiatives by other first ladies or first gentlemen that have similar initiatives?
Yes, I'm aware.
You're aware. Were the other previous governors in Meru, or rather had the other previous governors in Meru appointed their spouses for similar initiatives?
They did. They had offices, they had vehicles, and everything.
Thank you. Does the first gentleman draw any salary or remuneration from the county government of Meru?
He has never drawn any coin from the county government of Meru.
Thank you. Let us briefly move on to the issue of roadside appointments, and I want to put them together. You have been accused of recruiting workers in Timau, specifically firefighters, and I think this is important that you confirm to the committee. Did you or did you not appoint firefighters at Timau?
I did not.
You did not. But, Honorable Governor, you made pronouncements that were understood to mean that you recruited firefighters in that event, and that evidence was brought before this committee. What did you do at Timau?
At Timau, through my Okorea program, I identified some young men and ladies who will be of great help to Timau area and who understands the geographical area of Timau to assist the county government or even to make calls to our office, that is Okorea office, so that we can liaise with the county government to assist. So, in a very summary form, what would be the role played by these people you recruited at Timau? To make calls to our office. To make calls to your office? Yes, that is the Okolea office. Why was it necessary for them to make calls, and calls in respect to what assignment? Because they understand the area. They understand the area? Yes. Was there any particular issue with the fire or firefighting within Timau that called for this intervention? Yeah, there were several issues. What kind of issues? The area, one and no fire engine. Yes. They requested the government to intervene. Yes. At the same time, they wanted us to assist with people that understands and can bring to our attention what is happening, especially when such events emerge. So would you call then those people as a liaison between your office and the community? Yes, they are. Has any of those people that were appointed at Timau drawn any salary from the county government? They haven't. Have they been given any appointment letters? Not at all. Have you forwarded any of their names to the county public service board for recruitment? No. Have you instructed any county office to adopt or recruit those people? No. The appointment at Kobo again, you were seen appointing watchmen. Why, to begin with, were you at Kobo in the first place? What was the issue? It was a call by the residents, especially at the market center, where they needed my assistance to get some watchmen. And at the same time, several other issues arose, and I was not alone. We were with the area MCA. The people you were seen recruiting as watchmen, in what capacity were they supposed to serve? Is it within the county government, or exactly in what capacity, and who was supposed to pay them? I was supposed to pay them. You were supposed to pay them? Yes. As the governor of Meru, or in what capacity? As the Okolea program director. So you were then offering employment in your capacity as a director of Okolea? Yes. Thank you. I'm sure later on you will have an opportunity to talk about that Okolea initiative. You have also been accused of directing the Meru Level 5 hospital to spend at source. Did you at any time do that? No, no, no. What did you do? You were seen in that rally talking about waivers, talking about spending some
cash. What exactly were you after?
I was invited by the committee and the acting chief officer of Meru Teaching and Referral Hospital to pay them a visit. We sat with the committee, that is the board, and afterwards we were to give address on what was deliberated from the meeting.
So there was a deliberation and there was a communication to be made.
Yes.
What was that deliberation about?
One, they wanted to use or to me to assure that they will use the money at source according to the act.
So that was their request?
That was their request.
What other deliberation were you supposed to communicate to the public based on the meeting that had transpired?
They had a list of people that they wanted to waiver the poor.
Is that the same list you communicated to the public?
Yes.
Thank you. Very quickly, again, let's talk about incitement, bullying, and vilification, and this is very key. You have been seen in those videos in an incident where it has been interpreted to mean that you are vilifying the minority chief whip and other leaders, including the Senator of Meru, the Cabinet Secretary Agriculture, MP for Tigania East constituency, who is in this building, and the Catholic Church and clergy. So very briefly, I want you to talk about the vilification of minority chief, whip, and other leaders, specifically on the incident that took place at the minority chief's whip's ward. That is Mwenda Ithili. Did you or did you not humiliate and vilify that particular member of
I did not
Congress?
humiliate Mwenda Ithili.
You did not humiliate him. You were seen asking the member of County Assembly to apologize. Why were you asking the member to apologize?
I did not ask the member to apologize. It is the crowd or the residents of the area that insisted that the MCA should apologize.
Why would they insist that their member of County Assembly apologizes?
Because of the incidents that had occurred previous days.
What incidences are these you're referring to?
The issue at the County Assembly of Meru when they walked out while I was giving out my speech.
So the day you were at this ward, was it before or after the attempt for you to deliver the address to the assembly?
It was after.
It was after. Let's talk about the Senator of Meru County, Honorable Kadhuri. Have you at any moment tried to vilify the Honorable Senator for Meru County?
No.
Has there been any evidence brought before this committee indicating or rather showing you vilifying or even mentioning the name of this senator?
No.
There has been an issue about you talking about the Cabinet Secretary of Agriculture. Again, has there been any evidence brought before this committee where you are seen talking about the Cabinet Secretary for Agriculture?
No.
But then, Governor, I want to take you back to a video that was played here. And it is seen where you are purported to have said that certain leaders in Meru, specifically the Senator of Meru and the Cabinet Secretary, were demanding a share of your government, and you made certain utterances. Is that correct or not correct?
It is not correct because from the videos that have been played here, there is nowhere that I've mentioned any of the two said leaders.
But you mentioned not sharing any bread. You said you are not ready for nusu mkate. What were you making reference to?
I was making reference to the MCAs who had already demanded that they want a share to themselves and then they leave the bigger share to me, as we saw from the clips.
So you were making reference to MCAs who had made a request or a demand to have a share of your government?
Yes.
Have you at any time personally made any statements against the person of the Member of Parliament for Tigania East, Honorable Mporo Abori?
No.
You have not. Has the said member of parliament ever sought from you an apology or complaint for any form of vilification or humiliation?
No.
Chair, I have had a comment from one of the members. Thank you for that guidance.
Order. Address plenary from this chair. What are you saying?
Chair, I have had a comment, and if my memory serves me right, from the Senator of Meru. I was wondering whether that ought to be responded to.
Comment which day?
Right now, I have had a comment from the Honorable Senator.
No, the only things you can respond to, Council, are things that are brought to your attention through the chair. The chair has not invited the MP for Tigania to address us. Until he addresses us is when you respond.
Thank you, Chair, for the guidance. Honorable Governor, you have also been accused of vilifying the Catholic Church, and there was a priest, Father Elias Kinoti, who appeared before the committee yesterday and felt particularly offended by your statement and targeted as a person who should be prejudiced. Are you seen anywhere, or is there any evidence indicating you vilifying the Catholic Church or even the very priest who appeared before this committee yesterday?
No.
Briefly, can you explain to this committee why you had that meeting at Igoji Boys? What was the discussion all about, and why was the Diocese of Meru involved in that discussion in a very brief manner?
The issue of Igoji, one, we had pending bills that the Diocese of Meru wanted to be paid by the county government.
How much were they demanding from the county government?
7.7 million.
7.7 million. For what purpose were they demanding that?
They claimed that the piece of land belonged to them.
And what did you do about that request for pending bill?
I went ahead to do some investigation to get the real knowledge if the piece of land belongs to Diocese of Meru, and also the residents came to my office and asked for intervention.
When you say residents, what kind of residents and from where?
The leaders from Igoji.
Leaders from Igoji. So were you responding to their request?
I was responding to their request.
Did you at any time cause chaos and accost or assault the priest who appeared before this committee yesterday?
No.
Was any information about his vilification or assault brought before your attention?
No.
Let us move very quickly to the forceful entry into the County Assembly of Meru. Were you invited for that meeting?
I was invited.
Was there any letter cancelling that meeting that was brought to your office?
There was no letter cancelling.
When you entered that premises, were you accompanied by any goons?
Not at all.
And when you entered, which office did you first go to?
I first went to Speaker's office.
And what did you do at the Speaker's office?
I signed the visitor's book.
Was that with the welcome of the Speaker or without his welcome?
It was welcome from the Speaker.
Who ushered you into the chambers?
It is the Speaker.
Who welcomed you to deliver your maiden speech?
It is the Speaker.
Who ushered you out of the chambers after the chaotic walkout?
It is the Speaker.
It is the Speaker. We have seen stones being pelted towards you. Was that stone from the County Assembly or outside the County Assembly?
From the County Assembly.
So from your evidence and understanding, who was throwing that stone at you?
The MCAs.
The MCAs. We move very quickly to the issue of nomination of CECs. You have been accused of not following the law, and you have been accused of misconduct when it comes to nomination of CECs. when you're seated before this house, did you come across any video where MCAs were threatening or were making certain remarks about the nomination of your CECs?
They said they will not pass the CECs unless I sit down with them and discuss about word for word.
Did you ever present any list of CECs to the County Assembly of Meru?
I did 10 of them.
10 of them. How many were approved?
3.
Very briefly, I want you to talk about some of the members that were rejected, their qualifications, in 2 minutes, kindly. Were they incompetent? What kind of people had you presented for them to be rejected?
One is Dr. Kiambi Adero, who is water engineer with an experience of over 20 years, a PhD holder.
Another one?
Another one is Kariminjeru.
What are the qualifications?
She holds master's degree.
What other person was rejected? We may not go through all of them, but the last one?
The last one is a young lady who was supposed to be the CEC for youth and sports, and she was also qualified.
Were you given any report as to why those 7 names were rejected?
No.
They never gave you any report?
Yes.
Why did you restructure your government, Honorable Governor?
I thought it was easy for me and good for me to restructure so that at least we can move on with the business or the functions of the government.
Was business of the government not going on?
Minus the 7 CECs, I thought it would be a bit hard. So I decided to reorganize and then assign the 3, those who have been passed, to handle at least 2 dockets each for us to move forward.
Thank you. Before the red light goes on, you have been termed as the modern day Hitler, Adolf Hitler, that we need to sacrifice you for the county of Meru to prosper, that you are not seeing eye to eye with any of the elected leaders, that you are a lone ranger, that you are very arrogant. That is the picture that has been painted by the County Assembly of Meru. Is that who you are? Are you that modern day Adolf Hitler, an all-powerful, all-knowing, omnipresent person that does not require any input from any other person? Is that you, Governor Kawira?
It is very unfortunate, and that is the narrative that have been sold by maybe the MCAs or my political competitors, just to show and paint the bad part, which I'm not.
Are you in working terms with any of the elected leaders within Meru?
Yes, I am.
Kindly mention.
You have 2 minutes.
Thank you, Chair. If I could just get 3 more so that I have 5 to conclude that line of examination, kindly. Governor Kawira, are you in any working terms with any of the elected leaders in Meru?
I'm in terms with almost all of them.
Even the members of County Assembly?
Yes, because for the last 2 months, I've been going around with them to take development to their counties, and for more than 26 ones, I've been with the relevant or the area MCAs with me.
What was the purpose of your visit in those wards?
To take development.
Did the MCAs of those respective wards accompany you?
Yes, they did. More than 20.
More than 20?
Yes.
Let's talk about other elected leaders. Which other elected leader are you working with, or are you able to work with within Meru?
The CS Agriculture, the MP Northimenti, the MP Bori, and many other leaders.
Many other leaders?
Yes.
Have you ever sat down with any of these other leaders during the 3 months that you have been in office before the impeachment motion was brought?
I've sat down with all of them after my election.
All of them?
Yes.
Let's talk about your efforts to bring about unity in Meru, if any. What initiatives have you taken? Because obviously, Governor, there is a problem in Meru. First, do you agree there is a problem in Meru?
there is a problem, but not the entire Meru. The problem is between the executive or myself and the MCAs.
What efforts have you made to bring about peace or create a working environment with other leaders?
I've invited them severally via a letter through the speaker to come and sit down and speak as leaders of Meru. I've invited the members of National Assembly through their chairperson, Honorable Mutunga. I've gone ahead, invited Jorin Cheke to come on board and try to bring us together. I've gone ahead, talked to the Council of Governors through our chair so that we can meet and have a dialogue. I've gone ahead, consulted bishops of Meru so that we can sit down and have a way forward.
Let's talk about the meeting that was chaired by the Council of Governors. What transpired in that meeting? But before we go to what transpired, who was in attendance in that meeting?
The leadership of County Assembly of Meru and myself and 10 governors.
Specifically, what leadership from Meru County?
The Speaker, the Deputy Speaker, the Whip, the Minority Leader, around 5 of them.
Was the mover of this motion present in that meeting?
Yes,
DMK.
He was present.
Was Honorable Mwenda Ithili present in that meeting?
He was present.
Was Honorable Mawera in that meeting?
He was present.
And the Speaker was present?
He was present.
What was the agenda of that meeting, especially from members of County Assembly? What demands were made?
The demands were that I give them or allocate word fund to them. The other demand is that they wanted the first gentleman not to accompany me in any meeting.
Any other demand?
The other one was I had planned to have a rally at Metongo, where the majority leader comes from, and they insisted that I cancel the meeting.
Did you cede to any of those demands?
Yes, I cancelled the meeting for Metongo, which was advertised for 1 week. Number 2, I also talked humbly with the first gentleman, and we agreed that at least he keep off the meetings.
And has the first gentleman heeded to your advice?
Yes.
Has he been in any public meeting ever since?
No.
He has not. Let's talk about the word fund a bit, and that's my last question. Why have you refused to release the word fund to the MCAs of Meru?
I have not refused to release the word fund. I met a budget which was from the previous regime, which allocated not word fund, but 10 million equalization fund to every ward. And I thought it was prudent for us to continue with that one, which MCAs insisted that it was very true because the first governor had given them 25 million, the second governor 20 million, and they wondered why I had only to surrender 10 million.
Did you ever understand how the 20 million and 30 million was dispersed to the MCAs?
No.
Was there any structure, or rather legal framework for the release of that amount?
There was no legal framework.
And what was your proposal in regard to the demand by MCAs?
My proposal was even in my address that we meet and then get a way forward, and also a legal framework on how we shall have the word fund.
Thank you very much, Honorable Governor. I think for now I'll leave it at that, Honorable Chair. I yield the witness to my learned friend for cross-examination.
Dr. Mudomi.
Honorable Kawira, please confirm that the Okolea program is a private charity that you run.
Yes, it is.
You have run this private charity for many years.
More than 10 years.
More than 10 years. I'll be right to tell the Senate The activities of this charity program are a frequent broadcast on Baite TV.
Yes.
Yes. And the main producer, anchor, director, or dominant person in that TV station is your spouse?
No.
Fair enough. Now, your case has kept shifting, and please listen to the shifting before I ask my question. Initially, your case was that you never made the roadside appointments.
Yes.
Then, when we pointed out